I have a question for you. Do you believe technology replaces human beings in every area of life? On November 30, 2022, the world changed forever and there is definitely no way back. On this memorable day, ChatGPT was put in the public domain and reached the amazing number of 1 million users in only 5 days. It took Facebook 2 years, also Instagram 2 years to achieve this success, and ChatGPT got there in less than a week. ChatGPT is here to stay. It's unstoppable, and it will change our society forever. The big questions for content creators now is, will ChatGPT replace content creators like you, Gary Vaynerchuk, Mr. Beast, or Tim Denning from Medium? And even worse, will there be a need for us less powerful creators, or are we made redundant by ChatGPT? I think we should all a little bit relax more, think and integrate new solutions in our daily life. Since humankind invented technology to improve life, it has also developed a natural rejection of change. Every new technology that I experienced came with two messages. The first one are usually voices neglecting the impact of the technology. And the second one are voices evoking fear of replacement of humans. One of the most well-known quotes associated with the advent of computers is the following: I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers. Thomas Watson said this. He was president of IBM in 1943. In 2023, 80% of the global population will own a smartphone, which basically is a computer. 5 computers versus more than 6.3 billion computers on the market in this year, a huge difference. A huge part of the scientific genre is based on the fear of making humans redundant. Do you remember Terminator? Does the movie describe a dystopian future in which machines replace humans? Yes, it does. When I look at the videos of creators like Alex Hormozy, they directly tap into this fear for clicks on the video. When I was in school in the 80s, I heard teachers talking about how computers will replace people for the first time. They also thought that at some point in time, teachers are made redundant. But we are still here. We are still transacting with each other, and we are still working actively together. For every job lost to automation, usually 3 new jobs appeared on the market. Jobs nobody was thinking about back in the day. So, first question I want to answer here in this video is, what is a ChatGPT? ChatGPT, or the Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is a groundbreaking natural language processing tool that utilizes machine learning algorithms to generate responses in written form that closely resemble human language. This revolutionary technology enables users to engage in conversations with the computer by asking questions, making requests, and receiving responses in return. It doesn't sound very easy, since it is how ChatGPT describes itself when I ask it. Putting it more bluntly in easier to understand words, ChatGPT is an interface that makes artificial intelligence accessible to everybody on the planet. What the smartphone was for the use of the internet, ChatGPT is for the benefit of artificial intelligence. Since its release on November 30 by Sam Altman's OpenAI company, ChatGPT has caused a stir in the tech industry and the internet. Whatever I ask ChatGPT to do, it simply does it. Produce a Twitter thread from an article, I have it 5 seconds later. Make a summary, 5 seconds later, I have it. Write an article, also this works very well, up to 500 to 1000 words. reply to a comment, also something that is easily resolved. And also I can ask ChatGPT to use the style of Gary Vaynerchuk or Warren Buffett or even, funnily, Donald Trump. And guess what? That's exactly the reason why many people say ChatGPT will replace human beings in the creative industry. In this video, I will contemplate the effects of ChatGPT on the content creation community. What does ChatGPT mean for the creative industry? As a content creator, your time and energy are valuable resources. But between brainstorming, research, writing, making videos, editing videos, the content creation process can be overwhelming and time-consuming. And in my opinion, this is exactly where ChatGPT comes into play. This revolutionary technology has the potential to revolutionize the way you create content, streamlining your workflow and freeing up your time and energy for other, more important tasks. In the following minutes, I explore how ChatGPT can enhance your productivity and creativity. I will walk through all aspects of content creation and will describe what role I see for ChatGPT in the creative process. So let's start with the first step of a creative process. Usually, I think it is brainstorming and ideation. Over the weekend, I couldn't stop thinking about this new tool. Since I usually use my overactive idea-generating mind to consult business owners in strategic questions, I kept my mind running on what use cases I see for ChatGPT in this part of the creative process. So I gave it more time for exploration. Let's say I want to write an article about trends in the economy, ideas of what can grow into a 1 billion companies and become the next big thing. Over the weekend, I asked ChatGPT, give me 5 ideas for $1 billion companies, and the result, I believe, is pretty amazing. It did this. The first idea was a renewable energy company that develops and markets innovative technologies for producing and distributing clean energy, such as solar panels, wind turbines, and hydroelectric power plants. The second idea is a biotech firm specializing in developing and producing innovative drugs and therapies for treating various diseases, including cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. We are coming to the third one, a consumer electronics company that designs and manufactures a range of high-tech gadgets such as smartphones, tablets, laptops, and smart home devices. A ride-sharing service that uses advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to optimize routes and reduce traffic congestion, making it faster and more convenient for passengers to get around. Sounds like Uber, I know. A virtual reality company that creates immersive VR experiences for gaming, education, entertainment, and other applications using cutting-edge software and software technologies. I know, it sounds a little bit generic, but after reading it, I thought these areas actually are pretty big these days. I'm now close to my 50th birthday, and I can come up easily with more complex and more accurate ideas after almost 5 decades on this planet. But when I think back to the time when I was in my early 20s and dreamt of building a meaningful company for the first time, I had no idea what to try. It was back in the 90s, the internet was young. And since my family didn't have a wealthy background or my immediate social environment had anything to offer in that area, where should I turn to get some North Star to find direction in my professional life? And this, in my opinion, for the young generation right now, is something ChatGPT can provide. ChatGPT can create solid ideas that can act as a North Star for further investigation. I can turn these 5 ideas into a nice article for trends in 2023. The only thing that I have to check as a content creator is, are they still relevant these days? Now we come to the second part, the research phase. After the ideation phase usually comes the research phase. Some Czech know-it-alls might skip this stage and play parrot, repeating what they have heard over and over again and labeling it as their idea, or believing their thoughts equal facts. In my opinion, writing responsibly means gathering the facts and information first, pros and cons, weighing the arguments, and coming to my own conclusions. Those who have ever researched an article in this way know they must run through numerous articles, some books, and many scientific studies. Although the internet made accessing this material cheaper and easier than ever before, yet doing the research means reading thousands of pages in a way that enables the human mind to comprehend and understand the material, and usually it takes a lot of time. According to Google, reading 1000 pages takes 1.2 days, or in other words, about 30 hours, just reading, no sleep. The big question is, can ChatGPT reduce this time and free up this time for more important tasks? Although ChatGPT's input at this stage is limited to a few words, it does a very good job summarizing articles. When I research for writing, 90% of the pieces don't support my thesis or the contra-argument. In order to find what matters for my ideas, I must read through all the material to find the 10% that deliver what I need. Having an artificial intelligence that on the one hand can suggest articles that match my needs to avoid running through the whole stack, or summarizing the articles frees up time for more important tasks. Having said that, I am coming to the third part of the creative process, actually the delivery phase, writing the article or producing the video. From an outline to the finished article, video, or short clip. For my podcast, I do video, audio, and articles, and in the last 3 years, I have gained some insights into what it really means to produce quality content. It's not easy. It is simply a lot of work, a whole lot of work. ChatGPT can provide a lot of help in getting the article or video done, and probably not in the way you think it can do it. Also, my first thought was to let ChatGPT write the entire article, and maybe in some days in the future automatically can throw out a whole video. But also on the article stage, it didn't take very long for me to realize that the article sounded basically generic and emotionless. ChatGPT can deliver, and I was staring with a wide open mouth on the monitor when I realized that it doesn't copy from anywhere, but still, it sounds AI-like. Once I checked this generic, write the whole article off the list, I tried to copy and paste my outline into the engine and saw its limitations. Too many words don't get processed. So big question for me was, when it can't write an entire article in a way I like it, and even when I enter a long outline into the prompt of ChatGPT, it doesn't produce an article right away. How can I use this tool? And what I found is that ChatGPT is really good in rewriting and editing. For example, me as a non-native speaker, I often use one word repeatedly and have really challenges to come up with synonyms. ChatGPT in this area is like a coach with whom I can discuss specific parts of the text and get very quickly 3 to 5 suggestions to rewrite a part with different words. Also, sometimes I have difficulties in putting 2 to 3 ideas together in a context. And also here, ChatGPT is really good in coming up with suggestions. And yet, I always needed to rework the output of ChatGPT to get it in the way I wanted it to be. Once the draft of the article is advanced, ChatGPT can play out its power by rewriting the article in different styles. So when I asked to rewrite parts of an article in the style of Ernest Hemingway or Gary Vaynerchuk or J.K. Rowling or Stephen King, ChatGPT came up with sound suggestions. Whether it's really the style of those writers or not doesn't really matter, and I cannot tell it, but what works well is showing different ways of saying the same thing. It helps me, the non-native speaker writer, better understand the different ways to express the same thought in English. The fourth part of the creative process I heard very often in the last years: writing is rewriting, social media is repurposing, and probably also video is re-editing. Gary Vaynerchuk says, repurpose the content and make it native to the different platforms. Well, Mr. Vaynerchuk, I hear your words, and yet up to now I have never understood how this repurposing process really works. Since I don't have millions to hire your agency, I often stood puzzled in front of the screen when I watched one of your videos in which you recommend Make It Native Buddy. And here is how ChatGPT can help. Create a, and here you can enter your preferred platform, post from this article, copy and paste the article as much as fits into the ChatGPT prompt right now. I believe it will advance also in the coming months. These magic words worked fine with my ChatGPT genie in a bottle. Create a Twitter thread from an article, copy and paste. Create a LinkedIn carousel from the article, copy and paste. Rewrite the article as a script for a YouTube video, copy and paste does the job. And also create a script for a TikTok or a YouTube short or a reel, copy and paste. And suddenly the world of repurposing the content and making it native to the platform is pretty easy. All 4 attempts that I made produced amazing results. 4 prompts deliver 4 ways to create more content for different platforms. And also here, the first suggestions are great, but usually what comes out of ChatGPT isn't really the end version. It still needs some rework, but having a template at hand works wonders. The big question at the end of this video is using ChatGPT plagiarizing content? The more I play around with ChatGPT, the more this question resonates in me. Are creators who use artificial intelligence betraying other creators? Well, many writers and probably also video creators might stick to the old rules of writing. I'm sure many of those old school real writers walk to their quarry on the weekends to get their stone plates, to carve their 10 commandments on them, as our ancestors did thousands of years ago when they invented writing. Some might even take it a step further and sit in their cave painting the stories on the wall. I think the reality is that the majority of writers will simply go with the flow and integrate novel technology into their creative workflow, as millions of people before us did in the centuries that came before our times. Gutenberg made printing easy by inventing the press. People started printing books. That's why I have many books on the bookshelf and not stone plates. Microsoft brought Microsoft Word to the offices and writers, which made the writing process easier and simpler compared to typewriters. I learned writing with typewriters in school, and correcting a wrong text was a nightmare. The internet made research more convenient. Before the internet, people had to travel to libraries all over the world. Now with the internet, they have the world's libraries at the fingertip. Amazon invented Kindle to bring ebooks to more readers. I remember the days of holidays in the 80s and 90s with a backpack full of books. Now I have one Kindle. And also in this sequence, OpenAI invented ChatGPT to deliver a virtual creative team to the first time content creator. And here is, in my opinion, the power of ChatGPT. Creators like Gary Vaynerchuk, Mr. Beast, or Joe Rogan all have a team that supports their creative process, that supports their work and helps them get to excellence. For the first time, every beginner content creator can get a virtual creation team for free with ChatGPT. The only caveat here is the results highly depend on the way the user asks questions. Those who know how to do that will succeed, while others who can't come up with the right question will certainly struggle. People who lead a team of humans usually get great results also from ChatGPT. Those who don't get anything in return. Just remember, doesn't matter if it's a human team or a virtual team with ChatGPT, shouting at both usually doesn't produce any serious output. Have a great day.